And I am so sorry that I'm late for my 1 o'clock live. My name's Dion Johnson. I am sorry. I know I'm running late. I couldn't believe it when I looked up at the clock 20 minutes ago and saw that it was 20 to 1. I was caught up in something that I had to finish off. And so thank you for your patience. I know that I'm running late, but I'm excited about being here with you today. I promise not to cry like I did yesterday. And today I'm talking to you if you are a CEO, a director, head of strategy, head of service, head of region, head of department in the third sector or the public sector, anywhere in the world. My work is all about helping you to be more influential in your role, and I'm passionate about supporting you to do that. So today, actually that's a clue as to what today is about, because today is about you if you are pregnant with possibility. If you're pregnant with possibility. What does it mean to be pregnant? Well, it just means that you're carrying something. You're carrying something. You're carrying new life, that you are, something's growing on the inside of you that you're going to birth out into the world. And I'm excited about that because some of you will know that I was a midwife for many, many years. And I'm excited about women bringing new life into the world. Before I was working with women who are carrying real babies. Now I work with women who are carrying the potential to influence real world change. And we're going to talk more about that in a bit. But I was thinking about how do you know that you're pregnant with possibility? How do you know that you are pregnant with possibility? And it is a bit like being pregnant with a baby. You know, like when a woman's pregnant, her appetite changes. So maybe you're experiencing some appetite change. The things that used to taste good, the things that used to feel good to you don't feel good anymore. We're talking about how you know that you're pregnant with possibility. Your appetite changes. Your patterns change. You know, maybe your sleep pattern or your behavioral patterns are changing. That your tolerance level changes. Things that you used to be able to put up with, you find that you just can't tolerate them anymore. And your shape changes, right? The way you used to fit, you know, you used to fit there, you used to fit in that group, you used to fit in that space, you used to fit in that kind of conversation. Now, when you're pregnant with possibility, you just don't fit because your shape is changing. The things that you used to wear, you can't wear them anymore. The things that you used to carry, you can't carry them anymore. So that's how you know that you're pregnant with possibility. And so today I really want to share with you what I think you need to make sure that you don't abort. Because, you know, the truth of the matter is that even in normal childbirth and pregnancy, do you know that across the world, hi Kemi, thanks for joining. Do you know that across the world, 800 women a day die in childbirth? 800 women. That statistic, I really care about the statistic. I want to do something about that. But I also recognize that it's a metaphor for what happens when women are pregnant with possibility, when they're pregnant with solutions for industry, for new ideas and new life for the marketplace, new solutions, new approaches that will change the outcomes of the third sector and the public sector. So these women that are dying in childbirth, a large number of them are dying because they don't have what I'm about to share with you right now. They don't have support. They don't have a midwife. They don't have a team of people working with them to make sure that their pregnancy goes well, to spot the problems, to troubleshoot, to problem solve, to keep and maintain and promote health. And so if you are pregnant with possibility and you're a CEO, we need that. We need safe delivery of that. We need safe delivery of your potential. We need safe delivery of that thing that you're carrying, the new life, the new approach, the new solution, the vision. We need it. And as I was thinking about this, I was thinking about an experience that I had when I was still practicing. I don't practice anymore, but when I was still practicing as a midwife, I remember one day getting onto labour ward, and then the woman who was leading the shift before mine said to me, can you go and take some symptometrin, this medicine, to room 10 urgently? So I ran to the fridge, got the medicine, and I ran to room 10. And when I walked in through the door, the atmosphere was thick with tension. And I saw this. I saw in one corner of the room, I saw a midwife. Her back was to the wall. Hi, Rachel. Thanks for joining. Her back was to the wall and she was writing her notes. You know, midwives have to write such a lot of notes and keep a lot of records during the labor. And this midwife, she was writing her notes, and her back was to the woman who was in the other side of the room, kneeling on the floor. She was on the bed like this. She was holding on to the drug, the pain-killing drug that you breathe in called Entonox. She was holding onto the mouthpiece, and she looked really, really distressed. Her face was contorted with the pain. Her veins were sticking out of her neck. She was clinging onto the Entonox and she was pulling it. She was breathing in and out for dear life. She was literally pulling the gas out of the cylinder, trying to get some relief from this obviously excruciating pain that she was in. And I stood there for just a second and watched the scene. The midwife with her back towards the woman and the woman in that contorted state of pain. And I wondered what I needed to do, whether I should go to the midwife with the medicine, but my heart was saying, go to the woman. So I went over to her. We'd never seen each other before. I put my hand on her shoulder. She was still breathing away. She's really breathing away on the gas, and I put my hand on her shoulder, and something really miraculous happened between us. I felt a huge connection with this woman. I felt her pain. I felt where she was. I stood beside her and I willed her through that next contraction. And as the contraction was going away, I felt her shoulders dropping. And she still held on to the Entonox. And then I thought, oh, let me go and give the medicine to the midwife in the corner. And as I went to walk away, she let the Entonox out of her mouth. She lifted her head and with steely determination, she said, don't leave me. And she put the gas back in her mouth and carried on breathing away at it. I was struck that something powerful had happened between me and this woman. I'd never laid eyes on her before, but something happened in the moment that I just turned my attention to her and put my hand on her shoulder. Something happened between us, and something happened so powerfully, not just for me, but for her too, that when it was time for me to walk away, she felt like she needed me to stay. She felt like just me being beside her was something beneficial, something useful, something that she needed in her time of agonizing pain and processing. And that stuck with me. It really stuck with me, because what I learned from that, and I saw many examples of that, was just the power of being supported as you're being processed. Just the power of having somebody stand next to you, skillfully alongside you. I mean, I wasn't even being really skillful alongside her. I literally just put my hand on her shoulder and connected with her heart to heart. And everything changed for that woman. Everything changed for her because she had the support, because she had the connection with another woman, with another human being who was on her side and willing her through. And so I thought about that story often, because as women in leadership, we're often very reluctant to let people close enough to support us. We're good with having a PA, we're good with having an HR expert to manage the people and to teach us about new software and stuff, but we're not really very comfortable with letting somebody into our vulnerable space. We're not really comfortable with letting somebody into our close space. And I'm telling you that as a midwife, I have seen time and time again that we just can't do it without that. We shouldn't be doing it without someone that we let in. I call it behind the mask and woman to woman. That somebody we let in close next to us to be with us as we go along. So what I thought I would do with this video is share with you a few people that you need to be thinking about securing into your close space, securing next to you, so that you can have safe delivery of what it is that you're pregnant with, what it is that you're carrying that needs to be birthed out into your organization and into your industry. Right? So you ready for these? So the first one is you need a captain. You need a captain. And a captain is somebody who is more senior than you, somebody who is in your field or in your industry, but perhaps has larger remit. So maybe spans industries, somebody who has oversight for your industry, your organization, and maybe other organizations too. You need a bishop, you need a captain, you need somebody who has a wider remit than you, that can see where you are, where you fit in the grand scale of leadership, and where your organization fits in the industry, and where that fits in the nation, and where that fits in the world. That somebody who is having a broad view of that and has a higher leadership role than you is crucial. I believe that if you are called to influence, you are called to be influenced. If you are called to influence, you are called to be led. If you're called to lead, you are called to follow. And oftentimes, as women in senior leadership, we don't do that so well. All right? So you need a captain. The second one you need is a cheerleader. Everybody, all of us women in senior leadership, we need cheerleaders. We need somebody who just thinks you're the bee's knees no matter what you do. You know, somebody who's going to tell you, yeah, you're great, you can do it, I believe in you, you're the bee's knees. Somebody who supports you, cheers you on, even when you've messed up. They can't see your mess. All they know is that you're brilliant. You're the apple of their eye. Everybody needs a cheerleader. Who's your cheerleader? Who's your cheerleader? Everybody needs, we as women in senior leadership, we need co-workers. We need at least one co-worker. Somebody, let me explain what I mean by co-worker. This person is the person who you can phone up and say, I don't know what I'm doing here, and this needs to be done by 12 midday. It's 10 now. I need someone to drop what they're doing and come and roll their sleeves up and help me fathom this out. You know, somebody who'll be up with you till 3 a.m, finishing that application or finishing that your slides. Somebody who's got practical skills that can bring help to your mission, bring practical support to your mission, people who can get the job done, people who can pick up the slack when you are otherwise engaged. Every one of us as women of influence, we really need alongside us our co-workers. And the next person that we need alongside us is a challenger. You know that what I found is that the higher you climb, the fewer people you have that will be confident enough to challenge you. The fewer the people that will be able to tell you no, or call you out on your BS, or pull you up on when you know, say no, you're off track, or you know, you're not doing what you said you were going to do, or that doesn't make sense, bring you up on your contradictions, you know, because sometimes these contradictions and getting off track is in our blind side, right? We don't see it ourselves. Each of us as women of influence, we really need someone alongside us who's going to be able to challenge us, tell us no, who has your permission to challenge you, who has your permission to call you out on your BS, who has your permission to tell you that doesn't feel right to them, what you're saying doesn't match up. We're very lacking in this area, and I believe it's a difference that will really make a difference to your power to influence and birth what it is that you're pregnant with, birth what it is that you're carrying in your organization, if you have somebody to hold you to account, someone who will challenge you to stay on track and bring your A game. So that's a challenger. And the next person you need is a channeler. And what I mean by this is somebody who is connected to spirit, somebody who's connected to God, somebody who walks in faith, who walks in the invisible realm, somebody who is very present here but can tap into the realms where miracles happen, somebody who can have faith for you, somebody who can believe big things when it looks impossible, somebody who is a miracle maker, somebody who is a mystery maker, somebody who understands mysteries, somebody who is able to connect with God and pray you through and hold faith when it all looks like it's going tits up. We all need a channeler, somebody who can pray us through, faith us through, and tap into the invisible realms of heaven. I'm suggesting that if you are pregnant with possibility, you'll know you're pregnant with possibility because you're changing, you're seeing things that you know need to change, you want to get involved, you're dreaming, your vision, your aspirations, you're aspiring to make a difference, right? And if that's you, then you need to secure your captain, your cheerleader, your co-worker, your challenger, and your channeler. I play that role in many of my clients. That's the role that I hold in the world for women. Many of those positions, I hold that place for many women. And so if you think that this is something that you need and I can be of help, you've been following me for a while, you've been listening to what I've been saying for a while, I've got a June and July offer that's open right now. The link is it will be in the box when I put a title to this. Click on the link, read some more, and see what I've got offering you, some goodie connection, good close behind the mask connection that's open to you. It's a limited number of spots, so act fast. Click the link that you'll see coming up in the comments box, and I'll speak to you soon. If you're watching on the replay, put #replay. Any comments you have, I'll answer them later on. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box. Let me see if I can see any questions now. Kay, thanks for joining. Olukemi, great to have you here with me. Thank you for joining. I can't see, my comment thing isn't scrolling, so I can't see what anyone's saying, but I'll check up on that afterwards. If you know that you could do with somebody, a co-worker, a cheerleader, a challenger, a channeler, or a captain, and you think that I might fit into one of those categories for you, check out my July offer and I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.